Hi, Dav here, and today we have a new episode in the art process series. And today we'll be talking about why your art sucks. I know it's a kind of a clickbaity title or a subject, but I think I found, or it's not the only reason, but I think the reason why your art sucks isn't because your art actually sucks. It's really more about your approach. Like usually there's something wrong with the way you're approaching your subject, and that's the reason why it's not turning out the way you want to, or it's not coming out in a satisfactory way. So for me in this session, I was kind of focusing on obviously character art, and my reference here was the anime. I forgot the name, but it's about like everyone forgot their memory. It's a recent anime. The first episode just came out where everyone forgot their memory except for this one guy, and there are a bunch of like demons, elves, and whatever. It looks cool to me, and I decided to just do because one of the poses in the anime episode kind of interested me, or one of the frames rather. So I decided to do that scene or to do that frame, and I did try to focus more on the face. That was the mindset, the intention I had for this specific session. And so far, as you can see right now in the black and white stage, it was actually kind of good. I'm always say with the plot, like the major points, but I'll say this whole art session took about 3 hours, almost 3 hours total. But around the middle part, like in the 2 hour mark, I was very close to just quitting this specific artwork because it just kept getting worse for some reason. Like maybe I was just too focused on one area, and or maybe I just approached it. And I do think I did approach it the wrong way, where I was just too focused on a specific area. And I think this is where it began the shit stage. I call it the shit stage, where I just kept overworking it. And now I don't fully know why it fucked up or where it fucked up, but I think it's really maybe I think I was just too close to the reference, number one. And number two, I eventually tried to copy with like 1:1 the reference, where what I mean by that is I pretty much turned off my creative mind and I went into this copy mode where I don't take any creative liberties. Like I don't pick and choose which part I should accentuate or remove. You know what I mean? Like I'm just copying things 1:1, and I think that led me down the wrong path, and it kind of ruined this whole like sketch or artwork. And I did this exact same thing a few episodes back. I hope just scroll back in the art process series and you'll see me talk about, I think it's in the simple shapes skip the rendering video. I think that's the title. And also I think one of the reasons why I was or things kind of went wrong here is because I also did start using grayscale again. In the beginning I did think I was gonna just use black and white, and I was gonna do my best to figure out the face and all of the right parts in that stage. Like it has to look good in the black and white. But somehow I decided to just skip it, and I went for some grays, and I thought I could paint. I mean I can, but obviously it did not work out the way I wanted it to in this stage. And I was pretty much stuck in this pose. Basically in the frame, you see her face, but also she's kind of tied up because she's like a demon / angel chick who has been trapped, and she's asking to be freed by the So that was the frame that kind of got me, and I really wanted to focus on the face because especially the eyes. That was kind of my thought process, but eventually I just I just kept making decisions that were not the original point. So maybe that also contributed to my because I swear I did pause the video, the recording around the 2 hour mark because I had to eat for lunch, right? So after eating, doing my thing, I went back and I remember sitting down and opening up my Clip Studio Paint file and just seeing the fucking thing, and I was like, oh fuck! Like for 2 hours I've been working on this thing, and it looks so fucking. In my eyes, like I felt this rage and disgust at the same time. Like what the fuck is this? And so I think it's the approach. Like it's either two things. I think I did not start out the right way. Usually I talk about focusing on shapes, and I think I was kind of starting off in the right foot, but I eventually started, or I skipped, or I did not follow through the whole way. I decided to use grayscale or gray value. So I think that's where I personally fucked up. So I had 2 points there. I'm not sure what the second thing is, but anyway. So eventually, this whole process, like the vast majority of the video, is me just trying to rework things, trying to make it look right. And I think I was too zoomed in. Because if you watch my previous episodes, I do the characters at this view. So maybe the face was just too big for me. You know, like this specific kind of view for this face was just like I was so used to drawing like small faces, right? And I think doing it in this view or this close was or did contribute to me not being as efficient. And you'll see me actually lasso things and kind of move things around. And the reason why is because every time I would zoom out just a little bit, I would be like, oh shit, it's a bit off, like the proportions are off. And that shows you that I was just too zoomed in. And that's an approach that you can fix. If I just zoomed out a bit, my art would be a little better, I think. And you'll see me eventually kind of work through this. In the end, I think in the last hour of the 3-hour session, I think I was able to fix it a bit, although it wasn't very satisfying. But for the most part, I think I felt kind of good, or I did not feel like vomiting. Oh, shit. That's a bit intense. But yeah, I was kind of satisfied enough to be like, you know what, I learned a few things in this session, and you know, I kind of left the session with a positive kind of vibe. So yeah, you'll see me in this. As you can see, I keep reworking the same things, trying to fix things. I did try to work on the eyes because in the anime, you know, in anime they have like really, you know, detailed, pretty eyes. I tried to do that with the lasso fill tool, and I think I was just doing too much too soon. I should have just stuck to either black and white, or you know, taken my time with that, and then do the grayscale after I've determined like the proportions. Because in the beginning, you'll see me, I didn't even finish or fix up any of the, like I just jumped straight in. Like I was too impatient, you know. It happens. So anyway, I'm not sure where I finally changed here, but it's when I kind of extended the canvas, or not extended the canvas, but I extended the body. You know, I included the body and the wings essentially. And in that time, I did change the reference photo. I found a photo or a frame in that anime where I could see the full figure more. And I think that change in, I guess, my approach did help save this study of that of this specific character, right? So whenever you think your art sucks, chances are you just have to change something. It's not so much that you're like designed or destined to just suck. Chances are there's something off with the way you're approaching your piece. Maybe you're too zoomed in, maybe you're too zoomed out. I don't know what the answer is for you, but check the way you approach the artwork. And for me, I think things got a bit better here because when I zoomed out, I still kept using the lasso fill tool, but I was sort of encouraged to well, I did the exact same thing, but because I was zoomed out, the way like the shapes just ended up being more concise. Like even the way I did the vest there or the torso, it just felt, even though it's not super detailed, it's just simple and it gets the point across. And I was even able to like fix the arms and the face a bit and make it a bit cleaner, I guess, and focus more on the bigger shapes. And I think that's the main thing for me. It's just being able to just zoom out and see things farther away. I was able to fix a lot of these solutions. And I think this is a common problem where you oftentimes you zoom in to the point where you forget to solve the bigger problems. By zooming out, once you solve the big problems, everything kind of becomes easier, right? And you can even skip certain minor details because if you solve the big ones, the piece can sort of carry itself, right? So I'm not sure if I should do more grayscale for now. I think I should stick to black and white or just limit it to just maybe 2. I think I was trying to paint with this session. I'm not sure if I should push on. Just right now, just reflecting, I think I should just get used, because if my intention is to learn how to illustrate the face, then why is rendering in that I mean, it's part of the process, but it's kind of in the later part. I need to develop that solid base, right? That I need to learn how to like construct the face. And yeah, for the eyes, yeah, I actually got smaller a bit. But I'm satisfied with it. At least it doesn't look as bad. Although if I keep flipping the image, something just seems off. Maybe the pupils are too big, or maybe the eyes just too high a little bit on one part, or on one side. I don't know. But thankfully, I kind of saved it. It made, because I changed my approach by zooming out. I think I was able to sort of salvage this piece, and I guess it's less sucky now. So yeah, so just find something in your own art process that you need to change, and don't try to attach your like the quality of your art in the end result, right? I think you need to prioritize more and see and understand more of your own process, because or your approach, because that's usually where like the art follows your approach. So don't judge. I mean, you can judge the art, but I think before that, even more so, you need to see your approach. You may be doing something wrong. Maybe you're jumping into color, and maybe right now you just need to work on your grayscale values, right? In my case, I was just too zoomed in, and for example, well, I was actually able to solve this whole hand thing. You'll see I'm doing it right now. She's kind of bounded in chains. And I was able to illustrate both hands with just 2 values. And I think I was able to do this because I was just zoomed out. I wasn't like trying to figure out the folds of the freaking skin, right? And even the reference I used, the hands were pretty far away. So I had to like visually, like it was already visually like summarized, like where the shadows were and everything. All I did was almost like copy that shit, and I was able to finally sort of get it right. And it didn't take too long. It just took like 5 minutes, I think. Like 2 values. Like I determined the silhouette first, and then eventually I just added the shadow. And with just those 2 values, I was able to illustrate 2 hands very quickly, right? So that's the reason why it looks good, is because of the approach. So I think if I started it differently, if I was too zoomed in again, it probably would have looked like, garbage. But thankfully, I did change my approach. I did switch from being zoomed in to zooming out a bit more. And yeah, sorry, that was the change that I made. And so yeah, don't take it too hard on yourself when your art is not looking as legit or as functional or as presentable. Chances are there's something wrong with your approach. All you have to do is just maybe make that one tweak, figure out what that one tweak, what that one adjustment is, and chances are it's going to make your artwork look a little better. So that's it for this art process video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.